again and welcome. On the lathe today I've got a piece of white American oak burr which was very kindly sent to me from the US by a guy called Robert Nichols. Thanks very much, Robert, I really appreciate it. This was a few years ago now. Now it's a very characterful piece. It has a lot of voids in it, it has a lot of bug holes in it. I've checked it with the metal detector to make sure that there's no metal inside, having no idea where it came from. It could have been used in fencing or whatever, I don't know. However, I intend to make some form of a bowl with it, but we'll just have to see how it turns, and when I get a basic shape I can assess the bug holes and see if I need to treat those to eliminate any possibility of any bugs being in there burrowing away. I've got it mounted on a worm screw. I've got a packing plate at the back because I didn't need the whole screw. I shall be bringing up the tailstock for support, and I'll just give you a couple of angles on this so you can see what the wood looks like. Okay, now we can see here from these views, we've got some sort of a paint on here, plenty of voids here, some bug holes which seem to go down a fair old way, a big fissure there, and on this side, which will eventually be the bottom, you can see again quite a lot of inclusion there, and it'll be very interesting to see how it turns and what stays on. Full face shield is the order of the day, and staying out of the line of fire until I can get the measure of what this piece of wood is about. So I'll be using the Hope Cryo 1/2 inch double-ended bowl gouge, and the speed I've already checked, and we're starting off at around 650 RPM and just light cuts to just see what we've got. Okay, so at this juncture now I've marked out where the tenon's going, and it seems to be fairly solid wood, or as solid as this piece is going to give me. So I'm going to form a tenon here then, and then I can carry on shaping from that. Okay, so I'm basically going with this shape. I'm happy with that. I've decided against a bead on the top here, just splaying it out slightly. By the time that's leveled off, that'll be ever so slight, just a little nuance of it if you like. Tenon is here, and this area here is where I'll be parting off. So I'm allowing my the parting off on this to go nicely underneath there. So what I'm going to do now is just refine. There's a few little ridges here, and then I will give it a good dousing of sanding sealer and let that dry, and then we'll start sanding. So I've actually applied 2 coats of sanding sealer, and that's gone off now. Now I'm going to sand everything right back to a final finish, to about 400 I should think, and I have to sand everything I can off purely and simply because I'm going to be applying an oil finish, the Hampshire Sheen citrus oil, and there'll be 3 or 4 coats in that because certain areas will be more porous than others, and we'll just see how it progresses. And what I'll do is, when I've completed the sanding and I'm happy with the finish, I will take out the inside, sand that as well, and then just keep applying oil until it drinks no more. And I'm starting at 120, and I should say I should be working up to 400. So I've sanded 400, and I couldn't really not put 1 coat of oil on just to see what it looks like, and I have a feeling it's going to look rather good. So I'll be using the Hampshire Sheen citrus oil, citrus burnishing oil, and let's just, oh yes, that's going to look brilliant. As I say, with the burnishing oil, and especially on a piece like this, it's going to take multiple coats because certain areas will absorb more than others, but I think it's going to end up looking pretty special, if I do say so myself. I could have spent a long time filling all the bug holes, etc., but it's not laziness, I assure you. I like things as natural as possible. If we can get it to stay together when we take out the inside, then it'll be a completely natural bowl. So what I've done, I've decided that I'm going to wrap this in cling film, and just to protect me and bits of equipment around the shop in case it does collapse, because it's very, very punky here, and I do want to try and finish it, but as I say, I'm going to take some precautions, and of course I'll be out of the line of fire as well when I'm working anywhere on the inside. So that's the bowl hollowed out on the inside. The walls are around 10mm, 3/8 of an inch. I didn't want to go any thinner than that. The contour follows the outside shape of the bowl. We also got some daylight through the inclusion here. If I'd gone a bit thinner on the walls on the inside, I could have exposed a bit more of a hole, but I didn't want to risk it. I did fear for its integrity, to be honest with you. The depth is just about ideal, so it comes just short, about 1/4 of an inch, if that, short of the area where I want to part it off, so I'm happy with that. And the tool that really helped me out to refine the inside, both the sides and also at the bottom, is the Simon Hope heavy duty negative rake scraper with a round cutter on there. It really was a terrific aid to getting it to this level. Okay, so what I shall be doing now is sanding up to 400 and then apply one coat to begin with of the Hampshire Sheen citrus burnishing oil. Then I'll part him off and I'll just keep applying oil until it is full and doesn't need any more and isn't thirsty. Okay, let's get on with the sanding. That's the bowl with one application of the citrus burnishing oil, and I'm really pleased how it looks. You're never going to get a perfectly smooth finish with a piece like this because there's so many different densities of wood, punky wood, and of course the ever-present wormholes. And literally when you put the oil on, it drinks it up. So it'll be, I don't know, it could be 6, 7 applications before it's ready to be buffed to a nice luster. And you can see from the overhead as well that it's looking pretty good. Lovely piece of wood. So what I'm going to do now is part him off and the job will be finished. Apart from So that's the bowl finished. I have to say, apart from being very surprised it stayed together, I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. Beautiful figure. It is never going to have a perfectly smooth finish because of the nature of this piece, but having said that, the walls are just under 10mm, 3/8 of an inch-ish. It's 8 inches at its widest point and just under 6 inches tall from the base. And you know, even the base and all around here, it's full of character. It's only got a very matte finish at the moment, but I will apply another 4 or 5 coats possibly, depending how thirsty this little boy is, of the Hampshire Sheen citrus burnishing oil, and I'll buff it once that's cured, and then it should give it a nice sheen. Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers now.